Thank you. You mentioned the rights of terror suspects. You didn't mention the rights of the law-abiding. You don't feel that they should deal with people in their midst who are regarded as a threat to Britain, who the courts would like to deport, the government would like to deport. Are you saying we're stuck with that because your part of the coalition at least simply will not countenance any change in the human rights laws to stop that?
The law is very clear, which is that it is wrong, and it is wrong, to deport people who will be, for which there is serious concern that they're going to be seriously mistreated or tortured or indeed killed. And we, like any other civilized nation, abide by the very highest standards of human rights, and we abide by the very highest standards of the protection of those rights, however uncomfortable it might be to defend them from time to time. And this government will continue to do so. However, there is a way forward. We will be pursuing, and this government will be pursuing, agreements with those countries. Disappeared. Anyway, no, I'm back. We will be pursuing actively negotiations with those countries where we presently cannot, to the court's satisfaction, deport people where we want to do so. Now, there are a number of these bilateral agreements which already exist. They need to be properly verified so that the assurances given aren't just sort of paper assurances, but that they are proper assurances. And the fact that those assurances have not existed in that form from the Pakistani government is, of course, a source of great regret, because that has prevented these two individuals from being deported and being deported in line with our law. But that is the way forward. That is the way that we will be making sure that deportations can take place, where they should take place. At the same time, of course, as the Home Secretary announced yesterday, every single measure will be taken to make sure that as these two individuals are released from custody and from the courts, they are nonetheless kept under surveillance and controlled in a manner which means that they cannot do any harm to the British people. That is, of course, an absolute priority for this government, as it is indeed for any government.
I'm Brian Walker of the Constitution Unit of UCL. Is this doable in one term? Is it a programme, all of this, for one term? And do you hope for AV in time for the next election? And when we're about it, could I just ask you, is the Times correct in reporting that you intend to appoint over 100 peers, vote parties to the Lords? When we're in the present situation, it works well, and the Lib Dems hold the balance.
On the latter point, no. We're not suddenly going to sort of... I want to reform the House of Lords. I don't want to stuff the House of Lords. And any transitional arrangement where the coalition agreement quite rightly said that in that transitional arrangement you want some greater proportionality in the appointments made to the House of Lords is just that. It's a transitional arrangement. I would like to reduce that to a heartbeat. If we could reform the House of Lords tomorrow and just get on with it, that's what I would like to do. We will do it as soon as we can. We're not going to start orchestrating some great stuffing of the House of Lords. The most important thing is to allow...
We're going to leave Nick Clegg as he continues to take questions about that reform programme, taking a question about control orders and the Human Rights Act. We'll continue to monitor that, and if there are significant answers there, we will bring that to you. But we're going to leave Nick Clegg to bring you breaking news that we've just heard from the DPP.